Discernment and how it applies to these times. February 11, 2016. Our channel has been asked about the subject of discernment and how it applies to these times. We will take that as an indirect question to us, as well. He brought us the subject and we agree as to its import. We have spoken before on this subject, and this will begin by covering the same ground. That is all right. Your software is updated each time you read something again. It is just as though you were practicing a sport or a musical instrument. Pathways in your nervous system are built, strengthened, and perhaps corrected each time. So we urge you to not skip over things just because you are acquainted with them. Do you not see things differently each time you read your favorite book? It happens because you are different than the one who read it last time. So, discernment. You are entering very critical times for humanity and for yourselves. This will have different effects on each person. But it will also bring to the fore the dedicated light workers who have seriously intended to raise their frequencies, to learn to love themselves and others, and to contribute whatever they personally could to the rise in the collective consciousness. It will also bring to the fore many who have used others, who are totally misguided, and who want to make a buck, as you put it. There will be information for those who need it that is based on love and inclusion. There will be much also that is based upon fear. This is why it will be so very important for each of you to have polished your inherent abilities of discernment. Discernment is an inherent ability for each of you. But, as you well know, there are many inherent abilities that you may not have personally honed to their finest degree. So the question becomes, how do I improve my discernment? First, let us point out that if you are deciding the merits of a thing using your intellect, you are not discerning, you are judging. That does not mean you cannot ever find the best choice. But neither does it mean that you will. There is a vast sea of information and possibility that your incarnate mind could not even begin to grasp. You have a wonderful mechanism there, but you've been taught to rely on it to do things it was not created to do. We want very much for you to begin to understand that there is infinitely more of you as a being than what you currently are aware of. That is what we want you to learn to tap into and rely on. And that is the discernment that we are speaking of. Now if you are one who leads her life or his life, in concert with your guides, then you know how to do this. If not, you are probably thinking that you do not know how to do this. It is not difficult. It only takes some attention and some practice, not so much practice to make it better, but practice to make it your day-to-day way of living. What we suggest you do is to begin filtering everything, yes everything, through your heart. Your heart is your connection to your highest version of yourself. It is also your connection to us. Your heart has access to a knowing that your brain never will. You will most likely hear its advice as feelings. If you read, listen, and decide based on what your heart is feeling, and if you do not override that with your intellect, that will be discernment. And it will not lead you wrong. If ever you think it did, think back and see if you did not follow that feeling after all. In these times ahead, it will be important to you and to those around you, for you to be able to choose wisely and well. Continue to develop your inner knowing. And if ever you are not sure, ask us. We are always right there with you. And it is our pleasure to help. You will hear the answer in your feelings. You will know. Channeled by Ron Head. RonAhead.com